Betray your destiny and see how long it takes you to be drowning in a storm. It'll happen immediately. What's calling you to be your best is exactly the thing that's pushing you forward to manifest yourself most fully in the world. It's what you need. You run away from that, the boat's going to start to rock very, very quickly. Well, and you all know that. You know that perfectly well. Hell, all you have to do is not study for an exam that you know that's coming up to see the storm waters start to rise and everything start to rock. It's pretty bloody obvious. The idea that you encounter a storm because you're stupid and wrong is a really good idea. When God abandons you because you've abandoned your destiny and the storms come up, the probability that you're going to be taken down to the depths is extraordinarily high, and that happens in people's lives all the time. Well, what do you do when you're in the underworld? Well, you've been there before when things fall apart on you. Your friends have abandoned you. You're not as popular as you could be. You can't stand to look at yourself in the mirror. Into the underworld you go and you think, geez, I've done a lot of things wrong. Maybe I should reconcile myself with the world and I could get out of this. What does that mean? Well, what else would come out of chaos? If you fall apart and then you put yourself back together, what is it that comes back out? Well, at least you're in better shape than you were before. And then maybe you do that 20 times in your life or 50 times and you do it voluntarily. Every time you do it, you're more like the thing with the halo and less like the thing that's being thrown overboard by your friends. Everything starts to organize itself along a horizontal axis where each level of the structure supports every other level, and you can feel that. That's what you feel when you're engaged in doing something meaningful. You can feel those things coming together. Our nervous systems are very sophisticated, and they orient us in time and space, and they can tell us when they're in the right place at the right time. Every time you learn something, especially painfully, which really means you learned it, there's a bunch of things that you already knew that you had to let go of because they're wrong. And so there's no learning without sacrifice. You actually have a complete map of the world, always, but it's low resolution. If you go out there into a particular area that you've only mapped in a low resolution way, you'll learn details that force you to update the low resolution representation. And sometimes that can mean abandoning whole pieces of it because they're just wrong. And so there's a sacrificial element to exploration. And that's partly why people don't like to talk to people who have ideas that are different than theirs. If you know things I don't, all the better. But no, if you know something I really don't know, it's going to challenge something I already presume. And if it really challenges, it will disintegrate and all. Continual small updates differentiate you and make you strong. You shy away from that, your map stays low resolution, and you make yourself weak because you're not practicing that process of letting go and transforming and letting go and transforming, because you want to become a master at that. You want to become a master of taking the walls apart and extending them and building them up, and taking the walls apart and extending them and building them up. You'll never run out of utility for that. And that can mean that unknown becomes something that's your friend instead of your enemy. What you know might be your enemy. What you don't yet know might be the best friend you have. And it's highly probable, because what do you know? And there's an infinite number of things you don't know. So you might as well make friends with them. And then you also start to understand that you are precisely the thing that can move into the unknown as if it's welcoming and grow and develop as a consequence. And that makes you a much different thing than the thing that has to be terrified of everything it doesn't understand. You're just in a permanent state of it. In the face of horror and death, you make sacrifices. So you transform the terrible destructive element of nature into that thing that continually offers you what you need. That discovery is one of unparalleled brilliance. With us now, it's a transition from animal sacrifice to psychological sacrifice, because we're sophisticated enough to do that. We can let go of concepts and abstractions. We still make sacrifices, and we hope that they'll be accepted. And we hope that they're of high enough quality so that they work. The question is there a relationship between the idea of sacrifice and delay of gratification? What happens is that happier people are more impulsive. They're more likely to grasp what's right in front of them in the present. The relationship between sacrifice and delay of gratification, those are the same words. Delayed gratification is a sacrifice. There's famous experiments. You may know the marshmallow experiment. Basically, you take kids, 4 or so, sit them in a room, and you say, here's a marshmallow. If you don't eat that for 10 minutes, we'll come in and give you another marshmallow. And they videotape the kids, and the tapes are actually pretty funny because the poor kids do everything they can not to look at that candy or marshmallow. It's like they sit on their hands, they hum, they look at the ceiling. It's like they try to distract themselves. And some of them just, oh, to hell with it, and they eat it. And then others can manage it. The data showed quite clearly that the kids who could delay gratification at an early stage were doing quite a bit better later in life. Now, I don't